Good twilight everyone, welcome back to your beloved Drawback chess speedrun series, the fastest speedrun series in the world with a perfect 100% win rate. And without any further ado, let's get into today's content. Taking turns, all of your piece types have to have moved an amount of times that are within one of each other. If you can't move a less used piece type, you lose. Absolutely horrifying. Reveal drawback to opponent. h4. My opponent counter-revealed. Rook on the 7th, by move 15, you must move one of your rooks onto the 7th rank. Aha! A very balanced combination. I can try to take advantage of his drawback, but at the same time my drawback is very restrictive to my own movements that it won't be easy to do so. This is going to be a fun game. d5. Opening up my bishop to potentially take his rook if he goes to h3. But now he can actually develop his other rook and there is nothing I can do about it as I can only push another pawn after I've gone through all the pieces once. Never mind. That blunders a rook. Ha! Absolutely amazing. He needs a rook to complete his own drawback, therefore with one rook gone, now I can focus all of my strength into defending against the other rook. The game has just suddenly become so much easier for me. G takes h3. Knight c6. Going through the pieces. a4. Queen lift. I pretend like I'm preventing rook a3, but actually he can still make the move as I cannot move my queen again until I have moved my rook and king once. Rook a2. That looks like a mouse slip. Very convenient. Long castle. b4. It seems like castling only counts as a king move. Very annoying. Rook e8. Rook a3. Alright, we have circled through the pieces once, everything is reset. Knight f6. Rook b3. b5. This guy is not rushing at all, he is spending everything he has on his rook in order to complete his own drawback. And if he can get through the drawback, he can play the game as it was normal chess. Rook a3 again. I want to keep my bishop and queen available as long as possible for a potential rook capture. Therefore, let's move the king first. Rook b3 again. Rook d8. Rook c3. Aha! Finally! A new move. He may be threatening to take my knight, therefore to make sure that I can make the recapture, I have to leave the queen available. This is getting very intense. I only have one chance to win this game. If I fail to win at move 15, he's gonna win real easy as my drawback difficulty should be at the very top of the difficulty level. Rook d3. Queen e6. And things reset again. This is our final rotation. Either I win, or I resign to avoid further humiliation. Rook e3. I win. So among all the squares on the 7th rank, g7 is the only square that can be directly reached by his rook from g3. Therefore, g6. This way if he wants to reach g7, at least he's gonna have to spend 2 moves to do it. And since it is already move 14, it is physically impossible for him to complete his drawback. My opponent lost all hope. Okay, honestly this guy also might have been a bit bad at chess to win this game. He had 15 moves so he could have just developed his pieces normally instead of lifting the rooks. But anyway, second game, let's go. Death Wish. If you can move your king into check, and aren't already in check, you must. Aha. Not too difficult, I've played these games before. Reveal drawback to opponent. Knight f3. d5. g3. Okay, so the point is I have to castle my king real fast and avoid making empty squares around the king for my opponent to take advantage of. Bishop g2 castle and we can pretty much play a normal game of chess. Knight f6. Bishop g2. Knight e4. Wait. Aha. He is baiting me to castle, and then he can go knight takes g3, which forces king h1 blundering the king, and if I just leave the king like this, knight g3 also works as it also forces king f1 blundering the king. Oh my god, this guy really knows what he's doing. bishop back to f1. Completely cover up my king. This way he cannot force a king blunder anymore. Knight takes f2. King takes f2. Okay, this is a bit risky, but at least I don't see any immediate king blunder. Never mind. Wow. I feel like that was a totally undefendable chain from the beginning to the end. Holy hell, this guy completely destroyed me. King e3 is forced. Alright. 1 win and 1 loss. It all comes down to this. Third game, let's go. Pac-Man, if you can capture a pawn, you must. Absolutely devastating. Reveal drawback to opponent. d4. Now what? If I push a center pawn, there is always a way for him to force me to blunder a piece. c5 then. At least there is no immediate forced blunder here. The goal is to capture as many pawns as quickly as possible to reduce my drawback's impact on my gameplay. c3. Okay, I can already see that I'm about to lose 3 tempos in a row, which should definitely be enough for him to end this game, but there isn't anything I can do about that. C takes d4 is forced. What's just happened? Your opponent lost due to their drawback. Your opponent's drawback was king of the hill. Except for the first turn. If you start your turn without a piece in the center 4 squares, you lose. Wait. Why did he do that then? Okay, no. This game was too fast. Doesn't count. One more time. Fixation. Once you move a particular pawn, you cannot move a different pawn until you move a non-pawn piece. Once you move a particular non-pawn piece, you cannot move a different non-pawn piece until you move a pawn. Very annoying, but I've played these games before. Reveal drawback to opponent. e4. So the entire point of the drawback is I should alternate between pieces and pawns moves. e5. My opponent counter revealed. I've saw on, as long as you have a rook, your non-pawn pieces can't move to a rank more advanced than the farthest square your rooks can see. A square they're on or can move to. Aha. So while his rook still doesn't see anything, bishop c4. Bishop f7 is checkmate in 1. I didn't make it. d4. E takes d4. Queen takes d4. His activity is severely limited. So I mean, why not make use of our queen? Knight c6. Doesn't matter. h4. Blocking his edge pawn from continuing its journey, which indirectly restricts his rook's ability to see the further squares. Rook lift. Cannot let his rook come out and see too many things though. I'll take it immediately. Okay, I need to be careful though. The drawback says as long as you have a rook, which means if he doesn't have any rooks then he can play a free game of chess. His other rook is now practically invulnerable. I mean, I can still take it in case it deals too much damage, but that would be the last thing to consider, as playing against a free player is just equally bad as a crazy rook delivering chaos. G takes h6. Bishop f7 is checkmate in 1, but very unfortunately now I have to move a pawn. a4. He defended his king. The other rook is about to come out, I have to act fast. Queen h8. Knight e7. Queen h7. Rook k6. I've just realized that even though there are 2 possible checkmates here, none of them works because he can just capture the piece and I cannot move the other one due to my drawback. Wow. Never mind. 2 wins and 1 loss. Drawback chess speed run today. 100% win rate.